So we've got quite a lovely 620T Reef aquarium here. It's got very good water flow, which is always good to see. It's run on a canister as well, and it's also got a chiller, so it's certainly ticking all those boxes. It's got way too much contact with the substrate, so this tank's going to get re-aquascaped and put on points to basically try and raise all of the rocks off the substrate to minimise contact with the substrate. And that's particularly important with this very fine sand, because the very fine sand tends to go anoxic quicker because the oxygen can't get into it. Now, the main problem with this aquarium right now is him. So the Damsel trap is something I talk about on all my DVDs, and the Damsel trap is basically where you get quite an aggressive fish that's put in early on in the piece, and he pretty much terrorizes the new fish that are put into the aquarium. So the new fish that are put in, they're put in predictably stressed, then they get constantly picked on by a little resident damsel, so the damsel needs to be removed. So in this case the tank is going to have to be taken apart. It's going to be a nice opportunity to redo the rocks. I'm also suggesting that better lights are considered. So with the tank, with the lighting the way it is, which is just some power compact lights, if we just have low light corals at the bottom, things like your leathers and corellas and things do go well, and any non-photosynthetic corals, and try and move any photosynthetic corals to the top, and it should all be fine. But improving the light is just always going to do amazing things as far as a reef aquarium is concerned. And if you've got a good LED system, it's definitely not going to be cheap, but it's absolutely worth its weight in gold when you see it. The performance of the new LED systems like the radiums and the max specs is really impressive. The tank's also not really growing coralline algae, which could be urchins. There's often urchins in the back of the rocks, and the urchins always go back to the same spot to hide all the time. So you can not know the urchins are there, and the urchins can come out and eat the coralline algae. Hydrogen sulfide forming in the sand can also disencourage the coralline algae, and the level of phosphate can also encourage the coralline algae. There's quite a lot of rare puffers in this tank, and it is important just to watch them with corals because they can nip at some of the corals. Probably not too prone to the ones that are in here at the moment, but that's just something to also keep an eye on. And some of the corals have got a little bit of recession, so we're going to do a coral dip in a product like either Brightwell's Medi Coral or Revive, something like that. The corals will definitely benefit from a bit of a dip just to knock off any bacterial infection that they may have. So all in all, it's a beautiful little tank, and it's very close to being a spectacular little tank.